In the heart of Ukuta, a village woven from threads of tradition, music, and profound love, life unfolded with a vibrant rhythm. Imagine a tapestry, where each strand represents a custom, each knot a bond, and the entire fabric pulsates with the collective spirit of its people. Ukuta was renowned not just for its colorful markets, where the scent of spices mingled with the lively chatter of traders, or its yam festivals, bursting with joyful feasting and ancestral reverence, but also for its full moon dances, where bodies swayed under the silver glow, telling stories older than time. The village, cradled by tall palm trees that whispered secrets to the sky, field of golden cassava that promised bountiful harvests, and streams that shimmered like silver threads under the benevolent sun, was a living testament to a harmonious existence. Here, people lived not just beside each other, but closely together, their lives guided by a rich tapestry of customs passed down for generations. Mornings in Ukuta were a symphony of life. The air thrummed with laughter, light and carefree, echoing from every corner. The rhythmic clanging of metal from the blacksmith's forge provided a steady beat, a testament to the village's industry and self-sufficiency. Farmers, with voices rich and deep, exchanged chants across their sprawling farmlands, a ritualistic call and response that spoke of their connection to the earth. Young children, with an effortless grace that belied their tender years, carried water in calabashes balanced expertly on their heads, their small figures moving with a dignity instilled by their upbringing. Elders, their faces etched with the wisdom of countless seasons, occupied their favored woven chairs, their voices soft but firm as they imparted wisdom into the eager ears of those who sought guidance. Indeed, life in Ukuta moved with an inherent rhythm, and time itself seemed to dance to the beat of tradition. Presiding over this vibrant community was Chief Duru, a man whose very presence commanded respect. He was the village's patriarch, a figure of immense wealth and stature. His compound, the largest in Ukuta, was a testament to his prominence, standing proudly on the highest hill, a silent sentinel overlooking the village. Its clay walls, painted in intricate symbols of lineage and power, narrated a history as ancient as the land itself. Chief Duru was a man of many blessings, including his 3 wives. Yet, even in a household of abundance, there existed a complex web of emotions, desires, and silent tensions. His heart, however, was undeniably captivated by Nnenna, the youngest and, by consensus, the most beautiful of his wives. Her beauty was undeniable, a radiant glow that drew the eye and held the gaze. But this very beauty, paradoxically, was shadowed by sorrow. For all her charm and the chief's affection, Nnenna bore a burden that weighed heavily on her spirit. She had no child of her own. This fact, a gaping void in her life, was the unspoken truth that permeated her days and nights. In stark contrast, Mama Ifeoma, the eldest wife, embodied the very essence of tradition and responsibility. She had fulfilled her duties admirably, bearing Chief Duru 2 strong sons and a beautiful daughter. Her presence in the compound was one of quiet authority, her movements deliberate, her decisions unwavering. She ruled the compound with a firm yet gentle hand, a custodian of the old ways, ensuring that tradition remained alive through meticulous rituals and unwavering discipline. She was the foundation upon which the chief's household stood. Then there was Mama Chioma, the second wife. Her nature was wise and gentle, a calming presence in the often turbulent dynamics of the compound. She was blessed with 1 son, a gifted drummer, whose rhythmic beats often filled the air, adding another layer to the village's musical soul. Each wife brought a unique essence to Chief Duru's life, each played her part in the grand design of his household. But it was Nnenna who caught the chief's heart in a way the others never could, a connection that transcended duty or lineage. This profound affection, though unspoken, bred envy and silent tension within the compound walls, a subtle undercurrent that simmered beneath the surface of their seemingly harmonious lives. Nnenna's longing for a child became the village's whisper, a sympathetic sigh carried on the wind. It was not just a personal sorrow, but a shared concern, for a woman without issue, even the beloved wife of a chief, carried a certain unspoken burden in a society that valued lineage above all else. Driven by an unyielding hope, she frequently visited the sacred sites, her heart pouring out in fervent prayers. She knelt before the shrine of Obiora, the god of justice, her voice a desperate plea for divine intervention. She sought solace and succor from Nnenna, the river goddess, whose tranquil waters held the promise of life and fertility. Day after day, year after year, she poured out her heart, pleading for a miracle. One day, After what felt like an eternity of tears and sacrifices, a profound shift occurred. A mysterious old woman, her face a roadmap of ancient wisdom, her eyes holding the depth of countless seasons, arrived at Nnenna's hut. Her presence was ethereal, her steps as soft as falling leaves. With a voice that was like the rustling of leaves, dry and ancient, she extended a gnarled hand, offering Nnenna a calabash filled with an enigmatic concoction of herbs and river water. "Drink this before the moon is full," the old woman instructed, her words carrying the weight of prophecy. "But beware, blessings may wear strange cloaks." With that, she vanished as silently as she had appeared, leaving Nnenna clutching the calabash, a tremor of both fear and hope coursing through her. Desperate, yet filled with a renewed sense of purpose, Nnenna followed the instructions to the letter. She consumed the mysterious elixir, her heart a fragile vessel holding a fragile hope. Months later, to the amazement of all, a miracle unfolded before the eyes of Ukuta. Nnenna's belly swelled, a visible testament to the old woman's potent gift. The news spread like wildfire, igniting celebrations throughout the village. Chief Duru was overjoyed, his deep voice booming with delight. He marked the occasion with fervent drumming that vibrated through the very earth, and rivers of palm wine flowed freely, signifying the abundance and joy that had finally descended upon his favored wife. However, the jubilation was short-lived. When the child was finally born, an unnatural silence fell upon the birthing hut. The usual cries of joy were absent, replaced by a collective intake of breath, a collective holding of sound. The baby girl, named Adanne, a name that meant father's daughter, possessed a feature that immediately drew gasps. Her head was unusually large for her tiny body. The women gathered, their faces a mixture of shock and pity, gasped audibly. The elders, their wisdom usually a source of calm, exchanged glances, their expressions betraying a deep unease. Chief Duru, who had entered the hut brimming with paternal pride, was stunned by the sight. His face, usually a mask of control, crumpled in dismay. Without uttering a single word, his back rigid with a mixture of disappointment and perhaps fear, he turned his back and walked out of the hut, leaving Nnenna alone with her newborn and the crushing weight of unspoken judgment. Nnenna, her heart a raw wound, defied the silent condemnation. She cradled her child, her arms a protective fortress, as tears streamed down her cheeks. But these were not tears of despair, but of profound love and fierce protectiveness. "My daughter," she whispered, her voice choked with emotion, "you are a gift, no matter how the world sees you." It was a vow, a declaration of unconditional love in the face of universal disapproval. Adanne grew under the fierce, unwavering protection of her mother, who became her shield against a world that was quick to judge. Nnenna, knowing the cruelties of gossip and the sting of societal scorn, kept her hidden from the village's cruel eyes as much as possible. Yet, even in her seclusion, the whispers found their way. Children whispered behind cupped hands, their innocent cruelty echoing the prejudice of their elders. Adults averted their gaze when she passed, their discomfort a palpable barrier. Chief Duru, the very man who had celebrated her impending arrival, never spoke of her, burying himself in the important council matters and grand feasts, a deliberate avoidance that spoke volumes of his shame and regret. Adanne, in their eyes, was a burden, a blemish on the chief's proud lineage. However, the very seclusion that sought to diminish Adanne unknowingly fostered a profound strength within her. Despite the silent ostracization, Adanne was bright. Her mind, keen and observant, absorbed the world around her with an uncommon understanding. She spoke early, her words forming coherent sentences long before other children her age. She sang beautifully, her voice a clear, melodic stream that carried through the air, touching something deep within those who were fortunate enough to hear it. And her laughter, free and unburdened by the world's judgment, carried like bells in the wind, a joyful sound that seemed to defy her circumstances. It was in the embrace of nature that Adanne found her deepest solace. The forest, with its towering trees and secret glades, became her sanctuary, a place where she was not judged, but accepted. Here, she spoke with the birds, their chirps and calls a language she instinctively understood. She played by the river, its flowing waters a constant companion. And it was there, by the tranquil river, that Nnenna, the river goddess, watched over her. Sometimes, Adanne would sit by the water's edge, her small hand trailing in the cool currents, and hear soft songs that only she seemed to understand. These were the whispers of the river, the ancient melodies of the goddess, weaving a tapestry of comfort and wisdom around her young spirit. She was a child of the forest and the river, her spirit intertwined with the natural world, a world that loved her unconditionally. The serenity of Adanne's secluded love was shattered by a momentous event. One day, the king of the neighboring kingdom arrived in Ukuta, his royal entourage a grand procession that drew the entire village to attention. The purpose of his visit was clear, he had come with a proposal. He desired for his son, Obiora, to marry a maiden from Ukuta, a strategic alliance that would strengthen ties between the two kingdoms. The news sent a wave of excitement through Ukuta. The village rejoiced, envisioning the prestige and prosperity such a union would bring. Every family with an eligible daughter began to prepare their girls, dressing them in their finest clothes, adorning them with beads and cowries, and teaching them songs and dances, all vying for the honor of being chosen. Every family, that is, except Nnenna. She knew, with a mother's painful certainty, that the village would never allow Adanne to be chosen, her perceived deformity an insurmountable barrier to any such honor. But fate, as it often does, had other plans. When the time came for Obiora to make his choice, a hush fell over the assembled chiefs and villagers. All eyes were on him, awaiting the announcement of the chosen maiden. To the collective shock and disbelief of Ukuta, Obiora, with a resolute voice that echoed through the square, declared before the chiefs that he would marry no one but Adanne, the girl who had not only saved him from the forest's perils but had also, through her unwavering kindness, taught him the true meaning of compassion. The village erupted in protest. The shock quickly gave way to outrage. Elders warned him of Adanne's head, their voices filled with thinly veiled disgust, calling her cursed. They spoke of ill omens, of the stain she would bring upon his royal line. They tried to sway him with promises of other beautiful, unblemished maidens, but Obiora stood firm. His gaze, unwavering, met the scornful eyes of the elders. If she is cursed, then let the gods strike me down for loving her, he declared, his voice ringing with conviction, a testament to the depth of his devotion. Moved by his words, and perhaps sensing a divine will at play, the king, after a long, thoughtful silence, finally agreed. However, there was a condition, a trial for this unconventional union. Obiora's love alone would not suffice. Adanne would have to pass 3 trials, tests designed to prove her worthiness not just as a bride, but as a potential queen. These trials, steeped in ancient custom and spiritual significance, were to be set by the village priests, ensuring their fairness and divine sanction. The fate of Adanne's love, and her future, hung precariously in the balance. The day of the first trial dawned, shrouded in a mixture of anticipation and apprehension. Adanne, though her heart pounded with a nervous rhythm, felt a quiet strength radiating from her mother's embrace and Obiora's unwavering gaze. First, Adanne was led to the sacred and ancient shrine of Amadioha, the god of justice and thunder, a place where truth was sought and secrets unveiled. The air around the shrine thrummed with an ancient energy, and the priests, their faces stoic and unreadable, stood sentinel. Here, before the watchful eyes of the entire village, she was presented with the first challenge, a riddle that had baffled many wise men and women before her: what walks without legs, speaks without a mouth, and dies when held? A hush fell over the gathered crowd. Some whispered possible answers, but none seemed to fit the enigmatic description. Adanne closed her eyes, not in despair, but in deep contemplation. She listened, not with her ears, but with her spirit, to the whispers of the forest, to the ancient songs of the river. And then, a moment of profound clarity. She opened her eyes, a faint smile gracing her lips, and whispered, her voice clear and resonant, an echo. The priest, his face softening from its stern mask, nodded solemnly. The answer was correct, a testament to her keen intellect and connection to the subtle rhythms of the world. A murmur of surprise rippled through the crowd. This was not just a girl with a large head, this was a girl of profound understanding. The trial of courage. Next, Adanne was sent to face the second trial, a test of courage. This took her to the ominous and legendary dark caves of Ajuru, a place whispered to be the abode of spirits and fearsome creatures. Her task, to retrieve the feather of a sleeping eagle without waking it. The eagle, a powerful symbol of strength and vision, was known to be a fierce guardian of its domain. The entrance to the caves yawned like a hungry mouth, its darkness seeming to swallow the light. Armed only with a small, flickering torch and her unwavering resolve, Adanne stepped into the echoing blackness. The air grew heavy, damp, and cold. She moved slowly, cautiously, her senses heightened. The whispers of the forest, which had always been her guides, seemed to intensify here, leading her deeper. The faint, ethereal light of fireflies flickered around her, illuminating fleeting glimpses of the cavern walls. She navigated treacherous pathways, her hands brushing against cold, damp stone. Finally, in a hidden chamber, she saw it, a majestic eagle, its feathers the color of midnight, asleep on a rocky perch. Its breathing was deep and rhythmic, a powerful current of air that stirred the dust around it. With bated breath, Adanne extended her hand, her movements as gentle as a sigh. She reached, inch by painstaking inch, her fingers brushing against the soft, warm feathers. And then, with a delicate tug, she succeeded. A single, pristine feather, soft and iridescent, rested in her palm. She had faced her fears, navigated the unknown, and emerged victorious. The final trial, perhaps the most anticipated and certainly the most ethereal, was a test of purity. Adanne was to bathe in the river during the full moon and emerge without a single water drop on her skin. This was a trial steeped in ancient magic, a symbol of spiritual cleansing and divine favor. As the magnificent full moon ascended, casting a silvery glow over the tranquil waters of the sacred river, Adanne approached its banks. The village had gathered, their anticipation palpable, their eyes fixed on her. With a profound sense of surrender and trust, Adanne stepped into the sacred water. The moonlight kissed her skin, creating an ethereal aura around her. And then, as if by divine command, a bright light enveloped her, a radiant glow that seemed to emanate from within. It shimmered and pulsed, a celestial embrace. The villagers gasped, their collective breath held in awe. When the light receded, and she emerged from the water, a miraculous transformation had occurred. Her head, once unusually large, was now perfectly proportioned, a harmonious part of her graceful form. Her face, no longer shadowed by the world's judgment, was radiant with ethereal beauty, a beauty that transcended mere physical perfection. The village gasped again, their initial shock giving way to wonder and a profound sense of humility. She walked back into the square, not just with renewed confidence, but glowing with grace, a luminous figure bathed in the moonlight. The silence that had once defined their judgment was now filled with gasps of awe. Chief Duru, witnessing this miraculous transformation, fell to his knees, weeping. His tears were not just of joy, but of profound regret for his past actions, his rejection of his own daughter. "Forgive me, my daughter," he sobbed, his voice raw with emotion. A royal union and a legacy of wisdom. Adanne, her heart overflowing with forgiveness and unconditional love, did not hesitate. She knelt before her father, raising him gently, and embraced him, a powerful gesture that healed years of unspoken pain and shattered the last vestiges of shame. The air was thick with emotion, a collective sigh of relief and profound understanding washing over the crowd. The wedding was held under a full moon, the very same moon that had watched over her mysterious birth and her miraculous transformation. The heavens seemed to bless the union, its silver light illuminating the grand celebration. Drums echoed through the hills, their beats carrying the joyful news across the land, inviting everyone to partake in the joyous occasion. Ukuta celebrated not only a union between two loving souls, but a transformation of its own, from a village marred by shame to one bursting with pride, from a community that had practiced rejection to one that now embraced royalty. Queen Adanne ruled with wisdom and compassion, her reign a beacon of justice and understanding. Her past, once a source of prejudice, became the very foundation of her empathetic leadership. She was a queen born not just of royal blood, but of trial, spirit, and undeniable divine favor. Her name lived on not just in the annals of history, but in songs sung beneath moonlit skies, her story passed down through generations. It was a powerful reminder to all that beauty often wears the mask of hardship, that true worth is not found in superficial appearances. And most importantly, it taught that true royalty is carved by the soul, not the body, a profound lesson echoing through the ages, reminding everyone that empathy, resilience, and unwavering love are the true crowns of power.